Hi guys, very welcome to Mentour and yet another video podcast. I hope you're all doing fantastic. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you to all of you guys who are sending in feedback to my videos. Right, it's really humbling to see. I'm really happy to hear that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I'll keep doing it as long as you guys think that you get any good value out of it. So today I want to talk a little bit about dispatchers. For those of you who doesn't know what a dispatcher is or who doesn't know what I'm talking about, you've probably been on an aircraft and you've seen that there is people who are not part of the flight crew who's in the front of the aircraft talking to the cabin crew, talking to the pilot, running in and out of the aircraft just before you dispatch. Okay, those people are called dispatchers, and what they actually do is they're the link between the flight crew and the ground personnel and the gate crew and the airport, and they also they basically coordinate the work with the cabin crew, how to do the boarding, how to load the bags in the holds, how to load cargo if that's the case, and so on. Now, I've had questions about this, what a dispatcher actually does and if their work is important or not. And I can only say that a dispatcher is absolutely crucial for an effective turnaround and for the safe turnaround of an aircraft. Okay, we rely very heavily on our dispatchers to make sure that not only that the work goes well when we actually are on the ground, but to prepare for the aircraft on arrival. So a turnaround for an aircraft, it doesn't start when the aircraft arrives onto stand. It starts much earlier than that. It starts maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before, when people are starting to check in their bags and so on. And that work, it's all done by individual units. So, for example, when it comes to bags, when you guys come to the airport and you go to the check-in desk, that's when we start to know how much people are actually going to turn up. We know how much people have been booked on the flight, but we don't know how many is actually turning up and how much baggage they have. So that unit will take care of that, and they will relay the baggage and the figures onto the gate personnel and onto the dispatchers. And it's down then to the dispatchers to start to coordinate the work of the actual turnaround. So I am fortunate in my airline and in the airport that I fly out of to have really skilled and dedicated dispatchers, because it is hugely crucial for the effective turnaround and for us that we have dispatchers who are not only good at their job but also likes doing their job and does that little bit of extra in order to get those turnarounds working. It makes a big difference. I can't even tell you how much. And if you guys are watching this, if you are a dispatcher and so on, we really do appreciate when you guys are doing your best and when you guys are doing that little bit of extra in order to make the turnaround work quicker. It does make a huge difference. We are greatly grateful for the job that you do. So what do they actually do in terms of paperwork and so on? Well, the dispatcher is the one who is doing the load sheet. So this is different in different airlines. In smaller airlines, the pilots might be doing the load sheet themselves. Bigger airlines, they almost never do. And in some airlines, the load sheets are prepared by a centralized units and then sent out to the aircraft via A-cars, for example. But in my airline and in most airlines, the dispatcher gets all the figures, like I said before, from the check-in, from the gate personnel, and then they bring that all together and they make a load sheet, and then they do any last minute changes to the load sheet. So let's say that some person might have checked in but for some reason didn't turn up at the gate, then you're going to have to bring that person off the aircraft. And as soon as we take a person off an aircraft, we also have to make sure that all their bags are being removed from the aircraft hold as well, for security reasons. Okay, the dispatcher is coordinating that. They're also coordinating the fueling. So when we get down on the ground, we look at the weather to see if there's any change in NOTAMs or anything like that, and a new flight plans out. And then we decide on the final fuel for the next leg we are going to fly. We relay that through the dispatcher, who then gives it to the fueler, and the fueler starts fueling. Okay, so they are the kind of central person that we, flight crew and the cabin crew, contact in order to get things done on the ground. So that's what the dispatcher is doing essentially. you know, like I was saying before, we really appreciate when the dispatchers are doing a great job, and they mostly are. Okay, so doing the load sheets, doing last minute changes on the load sheets, coordinating with gate personnel, coordinating with baggage handlers, coordinating with fuelers, and security if they would be needed, things like that. Anything that we need from the airport is communicated through us via the dispatcher. And also, if the company has decided to do something, for example, change the flight plan, or we need to do an aircraft change last minute and so on, that will also be communicated from our company through our handling unit and to the dispatchers. So the dispatchers are kind of the spider in the net who is taking care of everything. So that's basically it. Like I said again, I am fortunate to work with very, very skilled dispatchers. If you are a dispatcher out there, then we do really appreciate what you do. So keep sending in questions about, you know, things that you're wondering out in the airline world, and also if there's anything else that you want me to speak about, just tell me, because I do really enjoy doing these things. For now, I want you all to have a fantastic day. As you can see, I'm sitting in Plaza de Aro. We have the sea just about 100 meters that way, so I'm going to go down to the sea and get myself a cup of coffee. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you next time.